Hi, I'm Alice, and if I'm not wrong, I might be talking to a future known artist right now. So, thank you for clicking. I made this video for you. Let's talk about our block. As human beings, we were born with a lot of social needs. Feeling understood and that we belong are one of the most important ones. Throughout our lives, we keep accumulating experiences while we grow, and in these experiences, depending on our perception of reality, we classify those lessons as hurtful or useful. By the time we're teenagers or young adults, we've already absorbed completely those conclusions, even if they might limit us, even if they would not align anymore with the person we are, even if that conclusion came from other people's opinion. We didn't know there was a filter to use back then, and now, without noticing, we have a whole personality created from external limiting beliefs that have absolutely nothing to do with us, but that are already saved deep inside our unconscious mind. Those limiting beliefs will create an insecure you. Those insecurities will show when the world around you triggers them. And because you have an entire belief system attached to your perception of yourself, your mind will do whatever it takes to rearrange the narrative of your experiences to fit in. Every time you'll get negative emotions, your mind will try to find the cause, and it will rarely tell you that the cause is you. Because it's easier for your actual well-being to blame on the external your negative emotions than taking accountability and maybe realizing that you've been lying to yourself your whole life. That maybe you're not a loser. That maybe the kid that told you that in 6th grade felt like a loser himself. And you reflected the opposite on him, so he couldn't stand his truth that he needed to change his own perception of himself to be happy. So he chose as an automatic solution of his mind to make you feel bad. Maybe you're also not ugly. Maybe everybody that sees you differently. Maybe the person who told you that felt ugly. Maybe society told you that because showcasing all kinds of beauties will not get companies rich. Maybe you're completely competent in your art domain, but the algorithm of Instagram keeps bombarding you with the most successful people at this moment. Or maybe your family doesn't look too happy about your chosen path, but also maybe they have no idea about arts. Maybe you're reflecting them a freedom and creativity that in adult life is easy to lose. I know that being born in this world as we are right now as human beings is very difficult to determine which are your own opinions and which are preconceived or even come from trauma, but nonetheless come from the external. So now that I showcased the human mind, I'm going to dip my feet onto these two concepts: the artist and his art. I'm pretty sure you started in your art domain when you were only a child. A child without your actual limiting beliefs. A child that just did what he or she liked. Starting with that, I think it's a pretty solid statement to say that the art itself or our domain itself is never the problem. It's our perception of it. The process of creating art tends to put the artist on a very connected position where, for a few minutes, hours, or days, the artist is only focused on the representation of his feelings. So, to do so, the artist disconnects from everything around him or her. And when I say everything, I really mean it. The artist, maybe even without noticing, enters a state of mind where he needs to feel himself completely to convey his honest point of view onto something. This state leads to absolute vulnerability. It's a moment he uses to translate his inner world, thoughts, point of view, or opinions to the external world, the one who broke him so many times. So, in conclusion, creating art, no matter your domain, is a manifestation to the world of your truest self. No doubt, it's a scary thing to do. And with this feeling of fear, that's when procrastination comes by. Procrastination has been described a lot of times as a behavior a lazy, tired, non successful, and disorganized person would embody. This description definitely doesn't make the procrastinator look good. But what if we destigmatized this word? Because, as far as I'm concerned, society will never promote a behavior that doesn't make money. And as an individual society member myself, I know that my criteria to discern between good or bad behaviors is never about money. So, you, the future known artist that is watching this, we have to find our own values, the ones that had always made us ourselves. The values for which we've been able to fight up until this point, because they come as a natural thing to do to us. And with that being said, procrastination can absolutely come from the fear of exposing yourself to the world. The fear of, for example, putting yourself to pain and not attaining your ideals or deceiving the external world. And that deception, trust me, even if, as I said before in the beginning, you might still identify with it, it's not yours. Deception is not yours. You've always liked creating your art. You're on your own journey at your own pace. Expose it because you're proud of what you've gone through. Keep doing it because it helps you to get free of those beliefs. It helps you to learn who you are. Your art will mirror you, and it's only by looking at yourself through it that you'll become who you're meant to be. It's important to understand that you have to reconstruct your own individual belief system that is already hidden in you if you're planning to get out of your artist blockage and be consistent with your motivation. Talking about motivation, for my whole life, I thought that motivation looked like adrenaline bursts that put me in a creative state of mind for a short period of time. And those bursts were so intense that, me being a very emotional person, I always ended giving permission to my mind to grow higher and higher my expectations. Expectations such as, I will keep doing this project for the next months, or I will wake up early to attain this goal every day, or maybe I will cut off half of my phone addiction and everything related to social encounters, etc. The moment the adrenaline depossessed my body, I automatically entered a negative state because of the unachieved goals and the once again lack of energy and ideas. Everything mixed together gave me a lot of stress and anxiety because I could not figure out how to destroy this loop. Now I understand much better what was happening to me. It wasn't that I was disorganized or lazy, it was that I hadn't figured out yet my own belief system. The reasons that made me paint were either fame and money oriented, meaning creating a successful future in society standards, or even bursts of delusion out of nowhere before going to sleep because my needs weren't being met. Neither of them looked like my own beliefs because they always came with a hint of anxiety with them. And I have to tell you, your truth will always feel good. The rest, you better analyze it and throw it away if needed. So, little by little, I started practicing the recognition of my thoughts. What was I fearing and why? I tried to detect the source of every intrusive thought that had to do with me not painting, and I have to tell you, it's been a persistent practice. And what made me keep going was thinking that in general, I would not want to die without knowing who I am. With time and patience, I ended up figuring out more or less what my being represented. What were my natural tendencies? What are really things I have difficulties doing? And what I learn fast? What are my natural priorities? And most importantly, what matters to me? Once I knew me, I knew consequently what strategic plan would be the best for me in order to paint regularly and also achieve my goals attached to paint. I knew that being a multidisciplinary artist myself, I wouldn't be happy if I neglected one domain. So now I knew that I had to find a path, platform, or even job that gave me the freedom to combine them. To me, the answer was easy. It was YouTube. Thanks to this platform, I can direct art, I can film, do photography, paint, and do whatever I want, however I want. I'm just starting here, but I know that with my actual mindset, I will keep going, and my content, as I'm honest with it, it will always have my personal touch and will be recognizable. No need to adapt to what's trendy, fake anything, or force myself. Just being me will always be enough. I observed myself and took notice that I'm only able to focus deeply onto something for about 3 to 5 hours in a row. So I put my effort in that period of time, but then I give myself permission to relax or switch to another needed task. This way, I feel like my schedule has variety in it and keeps me being inspired and mostly keep away boredom, which to me is a dangerous enemy. If up until this point you've struggled with your schedule like myself, I recommend you to start little. Please don't expect having a strict routine from the start if you need to meet other needs throughout your day to day. In my case, I know that I need a certain amount of doing nothingness per day, and also I need to socialize every 2 to 3 days. Your needs might be different, but the message that I'm trying to convey here is that your schedule, as also, for example, your clothes, should always adapt to you and not the opposite. One thing I always have in mind is that my goal this time is not to reach a certain amount of subscribers, likes, or even numbers on my bank account, which, first of all, I don't have the control of, but to be able to stay motivated and keep going no matter the results, which in this I have 100% of the control. In order to stay now motivated, I stopped being strict with myself and instead gave myself a little love. Because I deconstructed my mind, I don't have negative feelings anymore attached to doing art. My schedule is totally adapted to the life I know I need to maintain in order to keep going. I also give myself permission to switch the tasks I have for one day for another, if I feel like I need something else in that moment. Thanks to that, once the week ends, I feel rewarded because I spent the time I proposed myself into the tasks I wanted, like painting or editing, but I also had a great time doing it because I didn't feel forced, as I also had the freedom to meet my personal needs. Motivation now feels like a constant soft predisposition to create that is always on the back of my mind. I've spent several months with everything that I'm telling you in this video taking form in my head, and it's not up until November that I had the courage to take the decision of being a painter and a YouTuber. So please, be patient. Accepting new truths and changing lifelong patterns take a lot of time, and most of this time will look like you're doing nothing at all. But I promise you that in order to grow, you'll need these non-productive looking days. This speech was meant to show you how your mindset is the only barrier between your actual you and your potential. I ask you to be aware of how lucky we are that everything we need to change to obtain happiness is always in our hands, never in the external. And we all were born with the power to do so. I don't know if this might help you, but I've kept talking about somehow the theory behind this, and I think it could be useful to show you a list of the little things I did on those non productive looking days, as I told you recently, that in my experience did a huge change. Trying more or less to sleep 9 hours. This depends entirely of how many hours you need to feel rested. Having breakfast, it can calm your anxiety down. Drinking water. I had headaches and dehydrated skin before realizing that I needed to drink more. Trying to minimally get ready. That can be putting comfortable clothes that are not pajamas, wearing a lipstick or a perfume, or even doing a cute hairstyle, doing your skincare, shaving, or even just taking a shower. Creating a relaxing mood in my room through music, lighting, and candles. Being vulnerable with my friends and family about my concerns. Surrounding myself with other artsy friends, you'll see how many possible different paths people take to maybe achieve the same goal as you, and it will give you so many ideas. Buying an agenda where I could do daily easy to do lists and feel accomplished. Buying a bullet planner where I could write down any creative content idea. Buying 2 sketchbooks of different sizes and paperweights. Surrounding myself with social media content that had a positive impact in me. Spending time in the sun. Trying to avoid negative talk, like criticizing or complaining, and switching up to a vulnerable talk, like opening up. Keep my room organized as much as possible. Surround myself with art. This being looking for art supplies in stores, art pieces on Pinterest, art in your room, etc. It will help you so much to enter in a perpetual creative mindset. And last but not least, observe in detail the world around you and taking pictures every single day. As you can see, that might look like a huge list, but if you take a close look, they're all super simple tasks that don't take effort to do, and the effect and impact they can have in the long run is incredible. To end this video, I wanted to share with you the 6 golden rules I came with in order to follow the path I chose. These are absolutely personal to me, so maybe they don't align the same with you, but hopefully they are useful. Number 1, do what you strictly would do for the sake of art and not for the views or likes. Be honest with yourself and your audience. Number 2, organize your week to save time to do your tasks and responsibilities, but also don't limit yourself too much. You need to feel free while doing it. Number 3, even if you have a burst of motivation, you cannot let yourself work for hours and hours without a pause and forgetting to eat, meet with your people, or even sleep. You have to take care of yourself if you want to keep going. Number 4, it's preferable to create and share than get stuck because of comparison or perfectionism. Number 5, you need to maintain a balanced personal life and workspace in order to flow artistically. Number 6, don't forget, you're not doing this because of money, success, or approval. You're doing it because you were born for it. Really, never forget the last one. And this video is coming to an end. Hopefully, this helped you a little bit to get confidence back, and I hope it gave you clarity in your life. I love you so, so much. You can do this.